what's up guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. Well, today I want to talk about something that I've actually never specifically spoken about on the channel, and it's actually very important and monumental, and it goes together with a lot of the stuff that we talk about here. The alien presence, the question that plagues many of us, which is that if we are being visited, and the evidence does seem to suggest such, a lot of people have asked, well, how are they getting here? Our closest star is light years away, and a lot of these advanced civilizations would have to be coming from hundreds, if not hundreds of thousands of light years away, which creates a very simple problem. And the bottom line, which is, how are they traveling here? Everybody says Earth is so far out there, and we are out in the sticks. In terms of our place in the Milky Way, we're out in the boonies. And I'll hear a lot of people say, why would anyone want to come and visit Earth? We're all the way out here. We are not particularly advanced, or would not seem particularly special to an advanced race that is light years ahead of us in technology and intelligence. But I have offered the suggestion in the past that not only are we being visited, or have been visited in the past by other races of extraterrestrials, and the evidence, especially the abduction testimony, and the eyewitness testimony of some of these beings that have allegedly been captured, and have been seen at some of these underground bases, or have been seen by people who were abducted, or who have had implants after abduction that have been confirmed by medical personnel, and that describes alien beings that look nothing like us, that would have had to have been a different race. However, allow me to propose the idea that a lot of the visitations we get are from us, our future selves, humans from the future, who are possibly coming back to visit us. And we've talked about how they would travel. The most likely and convenient way of doing such is with that of wormholes. Now, whether you want to call them wormholes or stargates or portals, which is actually the topic of our video today, and in reality is no longer a topic of the fringe or the science fiction that you would only see in films. No, many few people know that back in 2012, NASA released their findings and their announcement that they had discovered the presence of hidden portals in Earth's magnetic field. And that is what we are going to talk about today. And we're going to show you some of the evidence that would seem to corroborate it. Strongly so, in fact. So NASA made the announcement, and I will direct you to the link so you can check it out. It's down in the video description. And we've all spoken about portals. It's one of the favorite things seen in science fiction films, and is the main technique that we always believed an alien race would be able to visit another part of the universe in a very short period of time, instantly, by traveling through these wormholes, these portals that would bend space and time, or better yet, move space and time around them, so they could travel hundreds of light years in a nanosecond. And it turns out that these portals exist after a NASA-funded researcher at the University of Iowa figured out how to find them. Now, according to the press release, these things are called, quote, X points, or electron diffusion regions, as explained by plasma physicist Jack Scudder of the University of Iowa. He said that they are places where the magnetic field of Earth connects to the magnetic field of the Sun, creating an uninterrupted path leading from our own planet to the Sun's atmosphere 93 million miles away. So you're basically getting a portal that connects the Sun to the Earth. And a lot of people in the past have spoken about the Sun being a sort of stargate to other reaches in the universe. So observations by NASA's Themis spacecraft and Europe's cluster probes suggest that these magnetic portals open and close dozens of times each day. They are typically located a few tens of thousands of kilometers from Earth, where the geomagnetic field meets the onrushing solar wind. Now, most of these portals are small and short-lived. They open and close very quickly, which is actually how you would think these things would work if you are using a vehicle to jump through space-time from another point in the universe. You would not think that these portals would simply stay open, but would materialize and appear as needed and at the point of entry or exiting our region of space. Now, there are other portals, however, that are vast and sustained, with tons of energetic particles flowing through the openings, heating Earth's upper atmosphere, sparking geomagnetic storms, and igniting bright polar auroras. Now, at the time that they released this, NASA had announced that they were going to be studying these portals by sending up probes into space to skim the Earth's upper atmosphere. And this mission, called the MMIS, which is short for Magnetospheric Multiscale Mission, which was due to launch in 2014 and actually did launch in 2015 and has been up in space for a little over a year now. However, the findings of these probes have been very hush, very secret, and we really don't have much information about what they are doing, how they are studying these portals, and I wouldn't be surprised if this mission was to really see if they could send one of these probes into said portal. I would not put it past NASA, because that's what I would do. If I found portals opening up, I would want to go in, just like the Stargate film. Who wouldn't want to go in and take a peek on the other side? So we know that these portals are up there. The problem is that it's very hard to find them, because these magnetic portals are invisible, they're unstable, and they're elusive. They open and close without warning, and there are no signposts to guide us in. But they are developing a means to create these signposts so we can spot them. And what they did is that they looked at data from a space probe that orbited Earth in the late 1990s, when the NASA Polar spacecraft spent years in Earth's magnetosphere. Apparently, it also encountered many of these so-called X points during its mission. So they are now apparently taking measurements, and you know what? Who knows what they're doing up there? Who knows the amazing discoveries that they are currently making or have already made about these portals? But it does make perfect sense. These craft, these UFO sightings, are obviously coming from somewhere. We've seen the images, as you're seeing here, of these things opening up, of objects coming out of them. The strange activity happening all over the world, with these objects coming not from a long drawn-out ride across the galaxy, but through one of these simple portals opening and closing just above us. They're here and then they're gone, just like that. It makes perfect sense. And we've shown you the NASA footage above the Earth showing the literal highway of activity that is happening above our Earth, where we see these objects materializing, changing speed and direction, disappearing, heading down to Earth, entering Earth's atmosphere, and vice versa, as you're seeing here, taken from these STS mission videos. And I want you to watch this video here, which could very well show these portals opening up, and this is one of my favorite pieces of video footage ever, taken above the Earth in the infrared spectrum, and I just want you guys to watch this. And look at these objects that materialize, and look at these dark black, almost blobs that appear directly over the Earth, over these thunderstorms that are happening in the Earth's atmosphere, and you see these objects appear. Specifically, a very large object which appears, it comes into frame, and then, as you'll see in this sped up clip, the object flies down to Earth, locks itself into position, and then begins moving with the Earth as the Earth turns, to the point where you can no longer see it. So check this out. Now this is where we're getting to the end of the video, and you'll see, and the camera actually zooms in on this, but we see a triangular formation of objects in the distance on the Earth's horizon line. And you'll see as the camera zooms in, we get a very clear shot of this triangular formation of objects above Earth, along with all of these other very strange objects that again look to materialize. We see these what look like holes or portals opening up in the Earth's upper atmosphere in this infrared video, and it's simply amazing. So again, it's a monumental finding, and when it was first announced, it was passed by very quickly. There was very little media coverage, but in fact, it is one of the most astounding and important discoveries of our lifetimes thus far in this search for the truth and the understanding of how these visitors of ours are traversing galaxies, traversing the universe. But all in all, it's a very important discovery. And there's been a lot of evidence that these portholes exist. We now have confirmation, and we have the video footage and the images, both from space and Earth, proving that this activity exists and that we are being visited and have been for quite a long time. The evidence is unending. Very interesting times that we are living in, and I think I'm just honored that I can have this outlet to speak on it with you guys, get your 2 cents, work together, and really investigate this thing and put it all into perspective. When a lot of other UFO researchers out there are putting out nonsense, filler, fluff, television deals so that they can get their name and face onto the History Channel and all this, I just want to run this channel and I want to investigate this stuff. And that's what we're going to keep doing. So again, thanks for watching. Be sure to share, like, and subscribe on your way out. And stick around because I've got a lot more coming. Stay safe, guys.